should let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, 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 day.
Hello, we're back. I feel like I say that a lot.
Because we're always traveling and coming back from somewhere or some event or function, because we are, ladies of the day.
That part. Ladies of the streets sounds way better than ladies of the streets, but it's same.
Right.
Hi, welcome to TMW Online, the Melanated Way. I'm Linda. That's Abby. And we are covering all things 90 Day Fiance The Other Way. We are on season 7. We're episode 5 right now, A Dog's Breakfast. And I don't know about you, Abby, but I literally got back yesterday. I went to Universal Hollywood Horror Nights in the day. Like, I got back early morning, slept for a few hours, went to Hollywood Horror Nights. So I have not rested. So if I look crazy, it's because I feel crazy. But I'm okay with that because I had an amazing time.
Okay.
The trip was fantastic. Like, I don't know if you guys follow me on socials, on my personal stuff, but I just really had an amazing time. And it was relaxing. It was without the crazy stuff that's happening here specifically. And I needed it. And how was your trip?
It was fun. So I went to Portugal for my niece's birthday. I have been back for a while, though. I had time to rest. I had time to get my brows redone.
Cute.
They're re-microbladed. And I'm thinking about getting a little Botox over here. I'll tell you more about that later. And so I've had time to rest, but I haven't had time to get back into my work the way that I really want to. I had things I wanted to get done right over here, and I wasn't able to get to them because other things keep on piling up. There have been a lot of changes happening in immigration that are very bad. And so it just compounds the amount of work I have to do for a simple thing. And I have been going back and forth with a government attorney who is basically arguing that one of my clients should be forever separated from her children just because of the way that she entered the United States. Like, that she meets all of the requirements for a certain type of protection, but she will not be able to petition for her children just because of how she arrived in the United States. And it is beyond me that a person would behave this way, because it's a choice. You don't have to follow whatever these mandates are. It's a choice to come into the courtroom and make this kind of argument. And I will not let them rest on, I'm just doing my job. I asked her in the break, what do you gain by this? What do you gain by arguing this? Because there's a difference between somebody who comes to court and says, we'll defer to the court on the decision, versus somebody who actively goes after a mom in her particular situation, which I'm not going to give away her details, but it's a bad situation, to prevent them from being able to see their kids.
Becca says it's a lot, Abby. Keep up the fight. I will just agree with that. It's a lot, you guys, and wherever you can support people, support them. Everyone is going through a lot of stuff now, and it is hard times for everyone. And I just encourage people to just love on each other more than you have. Remind people that they matter. Remind people that they're cared for. And even if you think you can't do something, you can do something. And there's so many things. Halloween is coming up. And I am reminding people that if you have children and you're taking them trick-or-treating, there are nursing homes, there are shelters that always have candy, and those people may need to see some friendly faces, So that's something that you can do with your children. For people that are, dealing with immigration, listening to them, supporting them, asking them if they need anything. It's the little things that matter. And you may not think that you can help, but you can absolutely help, because sometimes it's hard to ask for help. But if you are offering, maybe someone will say, yes, this is what I'm in need of, or they'll say, this is what they don't know, and maybe you have the answer. And lastly, but not leastly, I also do think it's important that you think about the children. In America, the SNAP program, aka EBT, aka food stamps, whatever, supplemental food. The stats are 45% of people that are on SNAP, it's for the children. And that's not going to happen with the government shut down all the things November 1st. A lot of people are not going to be able to meet their food needs. And there is a food crisis in the United States of America. And so, again, I'm saying Halloween's coming up. A lot of those people who are maybe undocumented, living below poverty. I'll tell you this. I went to the store today. I am dehydrated from all the travels. And I have water, but I got more water because I need more water. And the cashier there, he knows me because I go there very often. And he was so sad because, that's his job. He's been there for a long time. He didn't expressively tell me, Abby, I'm going to start crying, but he didn't expressly tell me that he is on these food stamps. But he's like, they're stopping the food stamp. How can they do that? How do people not see that this is wrong? And like, how come no one's standing up for all the people that are on this? And like, why is no one saying anything? And he was like going on and on and on. And I realized that this is obviously something, because, he works at a small corner store. So he's obviously living at that poverty level, but making, the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so distraught and sharing with me. And it was very sad for me because it is a sad situation. I did see online, you guys, that the USDA does have a program. And Abby, I'm not sure if you know about it, but there is a program. It's the Emergency Food Fund that is separate from SNAP, that if you really do need food, the USDA has already paid farm workers for some of their food. And you can apply for it. You can go to usd.gov, and I will put the link, because I don't want to say it's the wrong. Oh, actually, I think I still have it pulled up
on your phone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, hold on. It is. So it's TEF as in Frank, A as in Apple, P as in Peter. So TFAP, the Emergency Food Assistance Program. It's a federal program that helps supplement the diets of low-income people, providing them with emergency food assistance at no cost. USDA provides 100% American-grown USDA food. It has milk, it has eggs, all of those type of things. So if you are someone that have SNAP supplemental and you're worried about November 1st coming around and not having that, please go to usda.gov and type in TFAP, TEFAP, and apply for that. And that's something that's separate and apart from SNAP. Thank you. That you can 100% apply for. that a lot of people don't know about. And I'm just worried about the children. And I'm worried about the children. I'm worried about immigrants. I'm worried about low income. I'm worried about people who are struggling with food, but may not necessarily talk about it. And so in the privacy of your own home, the privacy of wherever you are, definitely go there because it is another alternate resource. As well as I've also learned that DoorDash is doing their very, very best. And they are providing food for people who are saying that they need food during this time. So definitely go to DoorDash. And none of this stuff, you guys, it is not sponsored. I'm just a concerned citizen, a concerned person who really cares about the children and really cares about immigrants and really cares about people. And I don't want anyone to suffer, and I don't want children to go hungry. So thank you, Abby, for putting that link up. I will also put the link up after our live. And that's that. Shout out to Becca. I think I saw Raydella in the live chat as well. Shout out to Crystal, our OG. She's not in the chat, but I did talk to her yesterday. It was her birthday, so happy belated, even though I said happy birthday on your actual birthday. And yeah, you guys just love on each other. I think it's really, really important to just love on each other during these times.
Right.
You want to add anything, Abby?
You covered it all. Now let's get to some levity.
Let's get to a dog's breakfast.
Yes.
All right. That being said, that was the caring Linda. I might talk a lot of crap in the next hour or so that we have here together because this episode had me. It had me. I've been on holiday. I've been with family. I've been gone for like almost all of October. I came back. I watched the episode and I was like, oh Lord, what is happening?
There are 2 long tangents that I could go on.
Oh, we'll go there.
We'll let them come up naturally.
All right. Well, we're going to start with Matthew and Greta. First of all, I'm going to probably not be super nice because you shouldn't really judge people, but I'm going to judge. Matthew, did I know he was only 26 years old?
I knew that. You didn't know that?
I don't remember. I guess I just didn't recall because Matthew to me does not look 26 years old. Matthew, I don't know, Matthew. What's going to happen in 20 years? Because you look 46 to me.
Well,
Abby, stop playing. Stop it. Stop it right now.
Okay.
Stop playing. Stop being nice. Just be honest.
I'm going to be honest. I have a problem. Blanca Hernandez, hello. I got a problem with him off top.
Oh, I mean, we haven't even gone there yet. I'm just talking about, you're 26?
Yeah. I think, earlier on when I was talking about the fact that he still lives at home, I was saying, considering his job, which is supposed to be like a pretty good, high-paying, decent paying job, I wasn't really understanding why he was still at home with her coming over.
I'm not understanding why he doesn't look like he's 26. Okay, so
all right, Linda.
Sorry, but like, hello. I know live chat, you know what I'm talking about because I was stunned. Gret, old OG, popping on to say, hey girl, hey, Lydia.
Hey, Lydia.
In the house. Oh, Lydia's in the house. Oh my God, all the old people are making me very happy. Matthew absolutely does not look 26 years old. And what makes me sick right now is, okay, so Greta's arriving today. Mm-hmm. He has flags. He says, oh, great. That makes me happy. That makes me think you're thinking of your fiance. It's been 6 months, the longest that they've been apart. And yet he needs to get things ready. So he's cleaning up his room. And I'm like, oh, you're cleaning up the day of her arrival? You're making room for her for the day of her arrival, but you've known and been apart for 6 months. You live at home, you don't pay rent, you're some finance bro, and finance guys usually are super anal, you guys, like super like, oh, we need the numbers, we need the details because they can't make a mistake, right? Or cost them money. But here, you took time to propose to Greta. You had 6 months apart, and the day she's arriving, you're making a couple of drawer spaces for her, and you don't even have a closet. You have a friggin' rolling rack. Like, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm already irritated.
Yeah, I was irritated before we even got there because I don't think that I realized that he has never visited her.
Not that's what I'm saying. All the things are wrong right here. Never visited her. She's been there like 3 times.
Five.
Stayed with the family, and yet you're staying in this room, but you got a great job. It shows me that you have not pulled the strings. You're still
Yeah.
right there on your mama's coattails, and you're not trying to pull the strings. You're just trying to have your wife and your mama like Submit in the same house. And I'm not for it. And plus, you're only 26 years old, which is what Submit was when he met Jenny. And look where we are.
Where was the I was so excited for Greta earlier on when we first met her, and hearing her story and hearing her say that she met someone finally who understands her quirks and accepts her. And now in just one episode, I don't feel good about this for Greta at all.
100%. It's like what Chris Rock said. You are meeting the representative, and whether y'all thought you were together for 2 years, you haven't been together for two proper years, and you still only know the representative. And Matthew's representative is a false representative of who he is. And you're going to start to see who he is. And you start to see who he is as soon as you arrive, because there's so many things that made me mad at this episode. So he acknowledges that she's leaving her friends, her career, her cat, she's sacrificing a lot. But then you know what? He doesn't say, you know what? I am so happy that she loves me enough to sacrifice all those things. Instead, he turns it and flips it, which to me is a sign of a little bit of a narcissist personality to say, oh, I'm feeling pressured. You know, when a guy says he feels pressured, it means that he has to do something that is beyond being lazy in the bare minimum, which is clearly what he's doing, because he only did the bare minimum, and now it's the day she's arriving and he's quickly like cleaning up and making room for her. So narcissist behavior, in my opinion.
I would like to just, if we have anybody watching and you have someone coming to stay with you, I would like to submit that perhaps you should just wash your sheets before they arrive. You know, spray something that smells good. Do something to make them feel happy that they're arriving. A little gift, if you will, a little treat, their favorite things to eat. Even Jabri got dressed up when Miona was coming in to the airport and got some flowers. Like, there are things you can do to make somebody feel comfortable and wanted. And Matthew did none of them.
Like Lydia said, who's OG, who what I've said since day one of 90 Day, not vacay day all over again. Fact. Becca says, if you have a great job, hire a cleaner. If you're gonna wait till the day before.
Yeah. And it's not like he doesn't know that this is an issue. She'd already expressed concern about where her thing's going to go. And she's also expressed concern about where her food will go, or where she'll be able to keep her food.
Right.
Go,
right.
Poor Greta. Greta, I'm worried. I'm worried, Greta.
So she arrives. She's getting off the train at Market and Herborough, which I love that they showed us where exactly they were. He's nervous, and again, he's not nervous about seeing his fiance. He flips it and turns it to be about himself. He's like, there's a lot riding on it for him. What's riding on it? Because you've made no changes. You literally made 3 drawer spaces and didn't do any other type of cleanup. She left her entire life. So I'm sorry, what are you nervous about?
He didn't even make the drawer spaces good.
Right, because he left his stuff in it. So, but it's a lot riding on it for him, Abby.
I honestly don't know what he means when he says that.
It's selfish behavior. That's what he means. So it's 2 years in the making, and Greta gets off the train, and she's been nervous, and she's been traveling with all her stuff. And you guys, listen, I'll tell you a true story. So I got back yesterday, and I came with one carry-on. Well, I left with one carry-on and one check-in bag. And I'm all about home cooked meals. My mom makes African food for me and freezes it, and I bring it. And all the snacks from Canada that you can't have, or can't not have, but can't get here. And so I had to buy a bag that I could check in, Abby. And when I say that bag was all snacks, I'm not even playing with you. I'm not playing with you. And everything was overweight. It was outrageous. I'm outrageous. I'm outrageous. That's all I'll say. I'm outrageous. I turned into one of those travelers. I watch all the Border Patrol stuff and contraband stuff. Obviously, I didn't have any contraband stuff, but I'm just saying, like, people who bring things from home because it reminds them of home, I am that person. That being said, Greta has all her stuff. She's leaving her country. And so, yeah, she's sweating because she has all these bags. And, she pulls up. And one of the things that I thought was like a terrible edit, because even with Amtrak's, all the trains, you'll know what train you're on, and your seating, but you don't know exactly where it's going to stop, Abby. And for the fact that Matthew was able to stand right in front of the train that she was on that was stopping was like, to me, that was poor producing and editing, because like there's no way.
Not very realistic. Yeah, you don't know where the door is going to be all the time.
Yeah. And he stood right there, and she came out like after 2 or 3 people, and I was like, that was fake, because people all come off at the same time, so it's going to be a little bit of pandemonia. And second of all, they didn't blur the faces of the first 2 people that came off. So that means those people agreed to be on camera. So they signed a waiver release. So I was like, oh, I don't really like that. So, how do you know the exact train cart she's going to be on? I didn't like that. She looks at him. He's cut his hair. She's like, well, you look different. They hug, they kiss. It's been a long time since they've been together. It was like all awkward energy as far as I was concerned. And he feels like disjointed. He literally said, Abby, that he forgot how it was to have her with him. And he feels pressure because there's no return flight. And I was like, that does not sound promising.
No.
Not sound like someone who is ready to get married. It does not sound like someone who is ready to be in a committed relationship. And because things were awkward, and he literally said, and she literally said that they don't feel connected, I was like, oh, these are all red flags. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't understand why the 6 months apart create anxiety as opposed to excitement. But I don't, and I understand people are, introverted and maybe a little bit shy in front of the cameras, but from the production standpoint, it looks like they've already seen each other and we're staging the reunion. So I don't necessarily understand the awkwardness. And then, like, even if it's awkward, why aren't we complimenting each other?
And not only complimenting, he's actually talking crazy to her, which I didn't like as well. So
yeah,
we know that Greta's in there. And this episode 3 times, it said 3 times before, but maybe it was 5 times before. But she's always felt that it's been awkward because every time she stayed there, she stayed with the family, and it's a small space. And she's sleeping down the hall from his parents. And she's like, it's not ideal. And I get it. You haven't been with your man for 6 months. You want to get a little jiggy. And how are you going to do that with the parents down the hall, being quiet, all the things? She's like, it's not ideal for what she's into. And I get that. I get that because you guys, I always tell you, and I still stick to it. People say that, sex is not important in a relationship, but it's very important.
It is important.
To me, what's the difference between your friend and your partner? Is you shouldn't be having sex with your friend. You're having sex with your partner. And that's what makes it different. And that's why it's important.
Yeah, why wouldn't he arrange for them to have a night to be together, away from the parents to readjust and visit with each other again before they resume what's anticipated to be their long life of living together?
100%.
Why not have a special night? She said it was a long drive to get to his home. She's already been traveling for a long time. A nice courtesy for somebody who's been traveling for a long time is not to make them go on a road trip.
100%. Everything you're just saying, Abby, like he made 0.0 effort into her coming, even though they've been apart for 6 months. He's done nothing, literally nothing. He labeled her drawers with a G for Greta, and his stuff is still in those drawers. So he literally did nothing. 6 months, she's coming, she's leaving her life, leaving her job, leaving her beloved cat, all the things. You've done nothing. And to me, that was irritating. And that was a show of what's to future, because you know what? People's present behavior is a reflection of what their future behavior is going to be. How they act currently, you think they're going to be different in 5 months? You think they're going to be different next week? They're going to be exactly who they show up to be.
Yeah, and this is pure him. He wasn't even like, let me do a good job for the cameras. He didn't even like this is raw him.
Absolutely.
And it's not looking good because she needs someone who is going to contribute as much to the relationship as she is, and it doesn't look like he's contributing anything so far. Maybe we'll be wrong, you guys that have already watched a little bit further. Maybe we'll be wrong, but I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, maybe we'll be wrong.
But we're normally not. One of us is usually right.
Yeah, maybe we'll be wrong. And if you guys are further ahead and we're wrong about it, please let me know in the live chat. If you're watching the replay, let us know in the replay. But I mean, I don't think so. Another bad edit, producers, editors. I'm not impressed with the outfit difference on Greta all of a sudden. So she was in that red little dress or whatever when she arrived. And then when she was taking her stuff out in the bedroom that he made no space for her, she had a black sweater with that black long floral skirt, but he still had the same outfit on. And I was like, so either she got there, she showered and changed that they didn't show us, or they staged this. And again, they didn't think we're going to catch the edit. And for me, being in entertainment, these things, like, they're so glaring to me that they throw me out of whatever's happening. And I was completely thrown off. I was like, I rewound. I was like, was I not paying attention? Was I on my phone? What? No, it ran through terribly. The other thing, just coming back yesterday from travels, when Greta Abby put her suitcase on the bed, I almost fell out. I almost fell out. You guys, when you check your bags in, first of all, you roll your bags on the dirty ground. Okay, those wheels probably have more filth than you realize. Then you give your bags over to the bag check people who are just throwing your bags on the dirty airplane with everyone else's dirty bags. Mm-hmm. Pile after pile after pile. They don't clean underneath that in where the baggage storage area on the plane. They don't clean that. It's not like Lysol down. They turn it over, they turn it over, they turn it over. And then they throw your bags on the carousel. And that carousel, and then you're here pulling it to the airport. You're gonna put that dirty, nasty bag on the bed that you're sleeping on that you already know that Matthew didn't change the sheets. Like, I'm just, you guys, like, what? Why are we doing this? Why are you guys making me like talk about this? Greta, you're a lawyer. Greta, you're a lawyer. You should know better.
I don't think that you understand the cleanliness issues that pervade some cultures.
Yes, Lydia, it's a big no-no. It's beyond a big no-no. It's like,
Mm.
y'all are nasty. Stop doing that. Stop
Yeah, it is nasty.
nasty. You wonder why, like, everyone's hacking all over the place. There's friggin' new this and that. Stop it. Just stop
It is
putting the
disgusting.
nasty into your. All I'm saying, right? Because I know you guys fought me about taking your shoes off in the house, and the house clothes versus the outside clothes, and the house slippers versus outside shoes. I know you fought me on that, and I know you guys think like I'm a germaphobe. I'm not. I just like clean things. I like
No,
clean.
that's a very reasonable thing. I think that I'm one of the only people I know. I clean my wheels to my luggage when I get home, but that's not very common. I mean, I've actually never even met anybody else who does that. But before I wheel it inside, I like run all the wheels with a wet wipe and spray it down, and then it can come inside. But
Yeah.
I don't.
So
So I understand. I understand.
I'm just saying, you guys. I mean, just don't. Why on the bed? Like, why on the bed? Just put it on the floor.
Yeah.
Put it on the floor. Take out your stuff. Leave the nasty on the nasty. Anyways, she's trying to figure out where the space is for her because he clearly has made no space. He has an old school dresser that looks like it's from the 1960s and a cheap rolling rack that's not even an expensive 2-tier rolling rack, mismatching hangers. He's given her like 12 hangers and like some space on the floor for 7 pairs of shoes. And she starts crying over the no space to put her stuff, and she feels not welcome. And she's absolutely right. Your fiance has you move here. He's made no attempt to say, hey, you know what? I'm so happy that you've left your life and that I am welcoming you. And here is the space. And guess what? The space is only going to be for 6 months because I spent the last 6 months finding our own place, and we'll be able to move into it in 2. Like, he's done nothing.
Nothing.
So she absolutely has all the right to be in her feelings.
I think so too. I thought that was a reasonable crash out, especially when he said, "Oh, I thought you could just keep some things in the suitcase." To me, that was like saying, "I hope you go home." It's the same thing. When I heard that, that's what I felt.
And he did mention that there's no return ticket, right? So that's in somewhere in his mind. That's percolating for sure.
Yeah.
The
no return ticket thing was kind of baffling to me because if she entered on a visitor's visa, I thought she was required to have a return ticket, but that kind of threw me a little bit.
So, because they don't have a fiance visa in the UK, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
The visitor's visa, it's still 90 days, but I did believe the same thing as you, that it had to be a return ticket or you're changing your status. So I'm surprised by that as well. Becca said, after I started working downtown and seeing what I was walking through, it sank in and I refuse to wear my shoes inside now. Thank you, Becca, for joining our team.
You got a convert.
The hardest time. Becca, thank you. Okay, do we want to say anything else about these two?
That's it for Greta and Matthew. Greta's justified. Matthew sucks.
Jenny and Sumit. And Sadhna. I just want to say for the record, what I'm not about to do all season is go through the same nonsense that we went through. They've been together for 15 years now. Like, we already went through all this nonsense. I'm not about to do it with some random woman that just comes in this season, episode 5, season 7. Like, you have a problem and you had a problem since day one. I would have need you to express that problem from day one. You're not going to come in 100 years later and tell me the same things that Sadna told us from episode one. That's what we're not about to do. I'm not listening to the same shit. Jenny and Sumit are together. Period. Full stop. That's it. So Jenny starts this episode saying there's progress at the cafe. All is well. I don't believe it. They didn't show the cafe. She just said it off the side of her neck. I don't believe it. But in the meantime, they're having a Hindu ceremony, Abusha, which is blessing for a new house. Even though no one's moving into a new house, Jenny and Sumit are moving into his parents' house. And because there are new people moving in, they want to bless that situation. Prayers for a housewarming because everyone's living together. Great. I'm for that. Bless the house, bless the new people. I'm for it. But don't act like this is a brand new place and you're blessing it, because to me it sounds like this is forever. And Jenny thought that this was temporary, right?
Exactly. This is something that this is exactly what Sumit wanted.
Yep.
And it is a permanent move, and she's just participating in the ceremony, I think, without really realizing what we can see from the outside.
That part. So they're cracking coconuts on the ground. The more coconuts. The more coconuts you crack, the bigger the blessings. Jenny is supposed to carry some things on her head. And it's so funny to me, you guys. And I'm putting this on my head just to show you, like, it's not hard. Africans do this on a regular basis. And
I can put on my head.
So Jenny is putting something on her head that she's supposed to carry through the threshold, and she can't do it. And Sumit's like, "Oh, it's okay. You can just carry it." And I was like, "Jenny, how long have you been there? Like, what have you been doing?" I'm just very concerned that you're not absorbing the culture at all.
That's just a slothy issue. She's
What do
just
you mean?
kind of slothy. She doesn't really seem to have any kind of physicality to her. Like, she doesn't want to do any kind of physical workout. She doesn't want to do, whether it's something slow paced or faster. I don't think it really had anything to do with, can you have something on your head? She's just not a physical person. She doesn't want to do anything with her hands. She don't want to cook anything. She don't want, like, she's just.
Right. Because even people, if you don't put things on your head like this, right, and you're like, oh, I can't move it around, when you're beginning, you can just hold it. That's what beginner people in Africa do. They hold it, and like when you're adding things, right, and you're like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna fall like that did. See how I was able to catch it? Because I'm still holding the main base. I just don't understand. Like, why are you not even trying?
Yeah, she's just kind of slothy.
So she can't do that. So she carries it, which is fine. And then the other thing that I just really didn't appreciate, because Jenny, how long have you lived in India? You know that Sumit's family is very faithful to their beliefs and religion. And so they're doing the prayers. And Jenny's like, oh, how did they remember all these prayers? And I'm like, they remember it because it's important to them.
Mm-hmm.
They remember it because they grew up with it. They remember it because it's part of their day-to-day. And I don't understand how you knew that this ceremony was happening and then you didn't do any research. Because, like, if it was me and it was my husband and I knew that this blessing was going to happen, I would do my research and I would try to learn the prayer. And if I couldn't memorize it, I would have it written down with notes. So I'm just like, what are you doing with your time that you're not immersing yourself in the culture, especially because that's your husband?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
I would actually love to see a day in the life by Jenny, because I too am confused about how she spends her days when she doesn't grocery shop. She doesn't speak the language, doesn't seem to make any attempts to learn the language. She doesn't work outside of the new cafe that they've just started. What does she do all day?
She doesn't cook. She
She doesn't
doesn't
cook. She doesn't clean. So I'm very, maybe she really does just lay in bed all day.
I mean, I guess. So, anyways, the whole family shows up for this ceremony, even the extended family. We haven't met most of the extended family, according to Sumit, because they have been resistant to the relationship between Jenny and Sumit. Sadna's sister-in-law, and her name is Bharti, who is Sumit's aunt. So it's Sadna's husband's sister, right? Even though they're saying sister to sister, I want you to remember that it's Sumit's father's sister.
Right.
So technically, it's Sadna's sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
So Bharti shows up, and Sumit is happy that his extended family's there. He feels like his extended family is starting to accept the relationship. And literally, my note says, "LOL." It's been 15 years. Like, what are you talking about? They're starting to accept. It's been 15 years. They either accept it or they don't accept it. But what we're not about to do is have that conversation because it's been 15 years.
Right.
You either love it or you hate it. That's that, as far as I'm concerned. Don't you think, Abby? I'm not having an argument for 15 years.
Yeah, there's no reason for any more back and forth. It's not like the beginning when he was still lying and he was married to somebody else and all that stuff. It's baked in now.
We're not having this conversation. It's been 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Sheree is drawing the Rangoli on the floor. And usually you draw a flower on the ground, and it is used to welcome guests to keep the negative energy out. And I will tell you that those flowers were doing none of that. So either they were doing the flowers wrong or they were doing it too late. But yeah, no.
It was a little bit too late. Instead they accidentally locked her in.
Locked and loaded. Santosh, which is the aunt that we were talking about, starts criticizing Jenny, saying that Jenny didn't make the Rangoli correctly. What is she doing? Because she saw that Jenny wrote Jenny and Sumit on the ground. She did like one little flower, but that was it. So she's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be making flowers, not your name with Sumit. Sumit comes over to try to like stand up for Jenny, starts complimenting Jenny's efforts. And Santosh is like, no, why are you complimenting her? She didn't even make it well. And then she starts talking about the age problem. She looks like a grandma. She's not happy with the situation. She never thought that the whole family would be living together in the same house because people don't like their family because of Sumit and Jenny. And then I realized that, you know what? Sadna probably on her own wasn't the only one that was having the issue. She was
absolutely
to the outside pressure of the extended family, plus the outside efforts and energy of the society. That's why she was sticking so firmly to like hating on Jenny and Sumit. And so she finally got over it because her husband, basically forced her to get over it. And now she's like reliving because the extended family is now putting in her head again that this is wrong. And I didn't think about that, Abby, but I thought, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Linda, I think you did think about it.
Well, I did, but
because she would say all the time, how will people think of us? How will people look at us? And we talked about, like, she never says, I don't like it, or I don't like you having it. She always would talk about what other people would say. So we knew that it was some outside pressure that was making her feel this way and say the kind of things she did to Jenny. But what I don't understand is the end goal for the aunt. Does the aunt think that her complaints this day at this event are going to make Cement and Jenny go, you know what? You're right. We need to separate. Jenny, go
100%.
home. Like, what
100%.
is the end goal? Just to make everybody not have a good time at this event?
Listen, miserable people want other people to be miserable. So here's the thing. Again, judgy McJudgy. Yes, I am. But Santosh, you have no business judging anybody. Like, I'm sorry. I met you for 5 minutes and I can already, like, if we want to be judgy, I could judge you in 5 seconds. Like, you shouldn't be judging someone else's relationship, especially because they've been together for 15 years. Like, you don't like the fact that she's older than you. You don't like the fact that you think people don't like your family because of them. You don't like the fact that she is making your family name not acceptable, and that you can't accept it because outside people can't accept it. Then I don't care about you, because you don't care about yourself. Who cares about those random people in the streets in society? Are they paying your bills? Do they care that you're happy and healthy? Do they watch your children? Do they give you money? Like, none of those things are true. So, like, why do you care? This family right here is making flowers with beautiful colors. They invited you over to have a happy time, to create core memories, and you're just bringing negative, trashy, old energy into it. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you're unhappy, why did you even show up? If you don't want to support it, why did you show up? No one wants to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
You all have been through this 10 years ago. Why are we doing this now? Like Abby said, Santosh, what is your end goal? Because you're not going to break them up, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
If Sadhna didn't break them up, you who never show up, we're just seeing your face for the first time, and your face is not that happy looking. Why would we listen to you? Makes no sense to me. So then she's mad that Sadhna is supporting Jenny and helping her create these flowers. So she tries to make her stop. She pulls her up, says stop, moves her aside, and starts bringing up the age difference and this living situation and being married and living in a multi-generational family. And I thought, this is another thing that's a problem, right? Because as you guys know, I'm full on supportive of multi-generational family living, especially if you have a huge house and a lot of people can save money and move into their own houses eventually. I'm all about it. But one of the things that I thought was really important in this moment, Abby, that Sadhna stuck up for, not only Submit, which she always sticks up for, but also for Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
And when she said her son is happy, if he's happy, I'm happy, and what's wrong with that? I thought, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then when, what's her name? Santosh was like, well, no, not in our society. Our society says that this is wrong. And goes on to say, is it really a true happy marriage without society's approval? Does it make it valid? I almost short-circuited Abby. I almost short-circuited because even in the society that we're living in, and even with all the different types of partnerships, marriages, relationships that exist today, there are a ton of people that do not approve. Are we supposed to care about that? Or are we supposed to care about love? Are we supposed to care about people who love each other unconditionally, who support each other, who are there for each other thick and thin? Is that what we're supposed to care about? Because, and I know, a lot of you guys who watch this channel know that I'm all about my faith and Christianity and all that stuff. And I know a lot of you guys are not for that, but I will tell you this. Even as a Christian, we're not supposed to judge other people, right? Because the only person that can judge is God. So this woman saying that society doesn't approve of this marriage, like, who the bleep cares about that?
Mm-hmm.
You know how many things that society that doesn't approve of and doesn't think is valid, especially in the current climate that we're living in? Are we supposed to just bow down and not be happy and not live our best lives?
I
What?
always try to think, what is the purpose behind the culture? When I bump up against a cultural rule that I just think is a little silly, I think, what was the purpose of it? So the purpose of a middle-aged man not having a spouse who is significantly older than him, the cultural purpose would be because they want to have more babies. They want to extend their lineage and have more children. So the rejection of Jenny, in my opinion, if I'm understanding the culture correctly, has less to do with her as a person and more to do with the fact that he is voluntarily, for them, ending his lineage. He's not procreating and making more Hindi people, making more, their family name. He is purposefully ending that. Would you say that's the reason why they object so much to this matchup? Because he's still in childbearing years if they were able to get him with a younger partner.
I mean, I would assume that that's the case, but they've never said that that's the case. And Smith has never said that he wants children.
He's always been very clear that he does not want children. I think that his rejection of not wanting children is a part of why he chose such an older partner.
And so then talk to Sumit about that, because that has nothing to do with Jenny.
Right. But I don't think that they're drilling down into it. I don't think they're drilling down into the reason why they object. I think they're only just looking at Jenny and going, no, don't like this, but not really considering, why exactly do I have a problem with this?
Right. And I'm going to jump into that because my note said, where is the dad? So why his sister is talking crazy and making a mess of this, religious ceremony, I was like, where's the dad? So he finally comes over and he's like, he finally shows up and said, you know what, they're happy. That's what he says to his sister. I feel like he should have said, first of all, where were you? Because I didn't even see you in the beginning of the ceremony. Like, where were you? You're finally showing up after Sumit says, we chose each other. We've been together through the thick and thin of things, through the ups and downs of things. Jenny is a perfect girl for me to marry, because just like Abby said, he's expressed that he's not interested in having children. He showed up as a liar. He showed up as a scam artist. He showed up as someone who wasn't really, he wasn't him. He showed up as this model, totally scamming her, and she took him back anyways. He got married behind her back while still dating her, and she showed up for him anyways.
Mm-hmm.
He brought her to India, or told her to come to India. He didn't have a job, didn't have a place to stay. She showed up for him anyways. His mom and dad and brother treated her like crap. She showed up for him anyways. He lied to her face on multiple occasions. She took him back and showed up for him anyways. There are so many things that Jenny has endured and showed up for. So yeah.
Yeah. By the way, we're not advocating that anybody should endure all that. Just saying she did it.
Oh, I'm saying Jenny did it. Listen,
Jenny did it. This was just for Jenny.
You guys already know me. You guys already know. You already know. You already know. There's absolutely no way. There's no way. Because I don't like the person that I become when there is nonsense happening. Like, no. But Jenny, she ride or dies for Sumit. And I won't fault her for that, because that's what she's good with it. She's happy. It's been 15 years. That's good on her. Could it be me? Absolutely not. Could it be you, Abby?
No, I don't want anything that bad.
Absolutely not. That being said, the dad finally shows up, says they're happy. The sister continues to say, think about what people are saying. And then my note just says, oh, she's awful. She's not going to accept it. Why do we care? Why do we have to be here again? I mean, I don't care about her opinion, and neither should you all.
No, but I did want to ask, what is it when she says we're not going to be accepted by society? What is the end result of that? Is it like not being invited to weddings, or like how does that play? Because it's been 15 years. So what is it that she feels like they're going to be missing from their role in society that hasn't already happened?
I mean, and that's a really good question, because as we know, India is the caste system, right? And so with the caste system, you can't just like, unless you've married into a different caste, you don't move up in your caste system. You know that,
Exactly.
right? Like you could have all the money, but they're still judging where you are in the system. So I'm not sure. And that's a question I will ask my friends back home, because that is a legit question. But at the top of my head, I'm not sure what she's talking about, that they're not going to accept us and they don't like us. If they haven't liked you for 15 years and you already have your plot in the caste system, and that might be not the right word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, you're here.
Your space. Yeah, exactly.
You're never going to be here, because that is your
It's
plot.
fixed. My understanding is it's fixed.
That's what it is. Like, your caste is casted. So unless you are marrying a prince, which would bring your caste up, I mean, what are you worried about? And also, what's her name? Santosh. You're not looking very
The
queen.
hatred is flowing right out of your face, girl.
I'm just saying, like, who are you to judge Jenny?
Exactly.
Like, you're hitting your retirement age. You just need to chill out, be happy.
Yes.
Look at the babies that what's her face? Cherie is
Cherie.
giving you, and talk to your brother, love on your brother, because you know you're here, you're not here. I just don't get it. Like, what are you even mad about?
Right.
Exactly? You barely see, you haven't seen them since season 2. And I seen you in season 2. I just heard that, oh, the family's not happy about it. This is the first that you're making on the TV. So like, I'm just gonna need you to take a seat, chill out, and enjoy your life.
Yeah, stop being miserable.
Facts. Moving on to Manon. Is it Andrew? I couldn't find. Is it Andrew?
Manon and Thomas. No.
They didn't show his name. I thought it was Andrew and Benjamin.
Benjamin is the baby. Why can't he even read what I wrote? Manon and okay, whatever his name is.
Oh, you don't know it either? Oh. You guys, what's
I can look it up.
Manon's husband's name? Becca said
Anthony, you were close.
Close. Okay, so Becca said, laughing out loud. I'll say it that way. Abby, I literally laughed out loud in the grocery store at the hate is falling out of your face.
Yeah, so I have so many feelings about what's happening with Manon right now and her parents. We only saw them for a little bit of this episode, but this is one of the things that I feel very strongly about as a parent. As you're going to make mistakes as a parent. Some mistakes are bigger than others, right? But when your child comes to you to tell you about the mistake that you made or how they felt about something that you did, your defense is not, I did the best that I could. That's not receptive. That's not accepting what your child is telling you. Sure, it could be the best that you could do was just wrong then, okay? It just was. I got into this conversation with my brother-in-law and he was like, so you've been wrong? Like he thought he had a gotcha moment. And I was like, yeah, of course I have been, because I'm fallible. I'm not a god. I'm not a deity. Yeah, I've done things wrong. And if Taylor was to come to me and say it, which has happened, I'd be like, oh, I hear what you're saying. I understand. Right? And some of it'll be little, like you ate Doritos in front of me when I had braces on. Real, that's a true story. That's a true story. And then some of it'll be big. You made me feel bad in front of my entire class when you came to my class and you X, Y, and Z. And it's not helpful, no matter how old your children are, when they share something with you, to say we did the best that we could.
I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. And I'm going to piggyback on that as an adult child. I think it's very important for parents to listen to their children at any age when they feel like they can finally come to you and say, this is how this made me feel. This is what my trauma was. And parents out there, I really want you to hear me when I say this. Saying that you did the best that you could or to diminish what your child has finally had the courage to tell you, because it is courage to come to your parents and to talk to them about things, really just diminishes the opportunity for you to grow. The other thing that I think is important, Abby, is that when your child comes to you and says, XYZ made me feel XYZ, or I was miserable because of XYZ, or I have childhood trauma because XYZ, you're not a perfect individual, and we're all human and we all make mistakes. It's really important to apologize.
Yes.
You know how many parents do not say sorry? It's like unbelievable.
Yes.
Even when you acknowledge them and say, oh, yeah, okay, I understand that. Say you're sorry.
Say you're sorry. Don't
Say
do
you're sorry, because
other stuff doesn't count. Say the words.
And say you're sorry, but don't even say it like, I'm sorry you feel that way, or I'm sorry that happened to you, or I'm sorry that's over it. You need to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I did that. And I didn't know better in the moment, but I'm willing to learn now, because half the time that behavior in the parent has not changed. What's happened is the child who is now an adult or a teenager or a preteen has had a different experience growing up, or has been exposed to other healthy relationships, or has seen a healthy conversation on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and thought, hey, I'm going to take this moment and try to speak to my parent and tell them that this made me feel this way. And I need you parents to listen, to apologize, and then to try to correct that behavior, because that is the only way that you move forward, and that's the only way that you grow as individuals. We all do that. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about Sabrina and Laurent. So they're out to play. They're playing La Pinquette, which is small and big balls, which is funny to me in English. But it's like chess, but with balls. You're protecting the small balls, and the big balls are pushing the other big balls out of the way, and you want your big ball to protect the small ball, and you're doing that by being the closest to the small ball. That being said, the mom immediately is like talking about how she was surprised that Manon was back, that she was going to come back, didn't think she was serious, didn't take it serious, which also to me was a red flag. Your daughter is saying, I'm coming back home to be with family, to save my marriage, all the things, and you're not taking her seriously.
Right.
Manon talks about how she was miserable there and she felt like an outsider in her friend group, but especially she felt miserable because of the body shaming from her family. And her family would say to her, you know, she doesn't eat, but she's still overweight. Words are powerful, you guys, and you might not think it in the moment. You might be heated in the moment, but again, as a parent, your words stick to your children. Your children look up to you at every single age, and your words are the most powerful. Now, will they act up and run amok and do all the things? Absolutely. But what you've said to them is also curating the type of person they're going to be, and also how they treat other people. You have a child that's a bully, guess what? You've been bullying your child, or you've been bullying your spouse, or you've been bullying your friends, and your child has seen that and is mimicking that behavior. You think it's funny when you see like a 3-year-old that's cussing like a sailor and you're like, oh, where'd you learn that? They learned it from you. You don't realize that all of these, they see everything.
Mm-hmm.
They hear everything. They ask questions, and how you respond to it and how you are in the moment, that's what they remember. That being said, so they were telling her that she was overweight. So that shaped who she thought she was. And I dare to say the reason she felt like an outsider in her friend group, maybe her friends weren't judging her, but she felt like she was being judged because her parents were judging her. Her family was judging her. So she's like, if my family's judging me, of course my friends have to be judging me. And of course I don't fit in because my parents are like, I don't eat, but I'm fat.
Right.
And
It could be. It could be part of that.
The dad says, well, we were doing our best as parents. And that we were just talked about, Abby and I talked about, that's not the answer. It's not the answer. Yeah, you did your best, but guess what? Apologize because you did that. And that's the memory your child has. And then better. And then say you're going to do better. But I was also really disappointed in Anthony. Because when Anthony said that he was worried that Menon confronting them will make them not want to help them as a couple, I was like, oh, first of all, Anthony, I'm going to need you to learn the effing language so that you can be part of the conversation. Second of all, I'm going to need you to be your wife's ride or die. Third of all, I'm going to need you to remember that she gave up her life so that she could work on her relationship with you, even though you guys don't agree with all of that. Like, wherever your problems are and you are, that's going to be the problem. You can't just change your location and think your problems are not going to follow you there. If your problems are social problems, your problems are relationship problems, you can pick up and leave your relationship, move your relationship. It's coming with you wherever you are.
It's coming with you.
So like that part I didn't understand. But if you want to be like surrounded by family and have like in-house childcare and all the things, then okay, maybe it makes sense to me. But Anthony, I'm gonna need you to learn the language because I can't have I'm not gonna have your opinion in English when you don't know what you're hearing.
Right.
Because you're assuming, and you know what they say about assuming, right? You're making an ass out of you and me, and we're not about to do that.
Anthony's also demonstrating to us that he doesn't understand how important it is for Manon to talk about the way she was treated by her parents in order for her to successfully transition into living in France. She's not only trying to work out the past and how she was been treated, she's trying to work out how she's going to be treated now. Because it made a lot of sense to me when she said she is worried she'll go home and fall back into that role of who she was, the box people had her in, as opposed to being her bubbly self that she's come to be, her bubbly, confident self. That's going to require conversations that allow her out of this box. That's why her parents saying we did the best they could is just not sufficient. They're going to have a change in their behavior and how they talk about her and talk to her in order for this to be successful. So that's not an apology. Also, I just want to note for the parents who are watching, bringing cut fruit into your kid's room, also not an apology, okay? Forcing your kids to hug you, also not an apology. Forcing your kids to sing the makeup song, also not an apology. That was a special one for my mom who made me sing the makeup song instead of saying she was wrong.
Yeah, and but they always make their kids say sorry. Ironic, eh? Exactly. So you just parents, just be more self-aware, be accepting of what your child is saying, be supportive, know that we all, your children, we all are growing, we all can learn, we can all evolve, but you have to be open to it. And that being said, the last thing I want to say, because I've been in Canada for a while, and the translation, I don't know, I know some of my peoples, and it might be Becca. I know Jaws was not in here, but some of my Canadians, I know you guys speak French as well. The translation is like a little off, and that it was also throwing me off. So when Sabrina was talking to Benjamin and he was playing the little game that they were playing, La Piquette, mon ami, mon amour, those are two separate words. So when she was saying that, she wasn't, because they were translating it, my love, but it's actually my friend, my love. Mon ami is friend, and amour is love. And literally my note says, can they translate properly so that our American cohorts can actually maybe learn something, so that they don't say, oh, j'adore mon ami, and you're like, what? I'm done. Really on my best behavior, you guys. I really am, because I was going to go off on a tangent and I did not. I'm very proud of myself. All right. Anything else that we want to say about those two?
No, I think that's it. I got my little tangent out about parenting, so that's it. Kids who receive apologies from their parents grow up to be adults who know how to apologize and take accountability for their behavior. So help your children to be better adults by recognizing when you have harmed them, apologizing to them, and both of you being able to grow, move on, and have better relationships.
100%. And not only are you helping your children to be better adults, you're helping yourself to be a better adult.
You are.
Madeline and Luke. First of all, again, the age thing just popped in my head. I think I'm paying more attention, but 20 and 31 is a big age difference. And I think it's starting to show. She's embarrassed about fighting about money in front of, is it Lizona? My Hispanic friends, am I saying that right? Lizona? If I'm not, I know you guys will correct me. But she's embarrassed having that money fight. Okay, Abby, I'm going to say something that I thought was hilarious to myself, because I laughed. He said he has $2,885 US, which is roughly 12 million pesos for the wedding, and asked, does it work or no, right? And I was like, I know your dad gave you $3,000. Did you buy some type of something at the airport? Because where is the other $15?
Those are the roses that he brought into the shop, and probably he also bought himself some empanadas or something. That's such an exact amount.
Yeah, I was like, your dad gave you $3,000. I am not impressed that you already spent. You've been there for one day, not even one day, like 12 hours. You already spent some money. Luke, we already know that you don't know how to handle money. So where did that $15 go? I'm going to need some receipts. You're asking for receipts. Show us the receipts. Anyways, he has $2,885. Does it work or no? Lizana says no. You're going to have to take some things out, or you're going to have to cancel the wedding, because that's not enough. Mm-hmm. And then she goes on to say that she's not used to couples fighting in front of her. She finds it embarrassing. I also probably think that she feels uncomfortable, right? Because she's also Madeline's pageant coach, probably good friend. She's thinking this foreigner's coming over. I know that, oftentimes third world countries, they think like foreigners are super rich, and now they're fighting about money. It's probably making her feel all kinds of ways, and she's just not trying to feel it. So she tells them that they need to think about if they really want to get married or not, because are they marrying for love, or are they marrying for money? Because the most important thing is love, obviously, right? Madeline decides that she's going to scratch the dancers and the mariachis, and by doing that, it should come into their budget, the $2,800 dollar budget. And when are you going to pay? And Luke's like, give me till Monday. And I was like, why not just give the money now? What are we waiting for?
Yeah.
What are we waiting for, Abby?
By
So
Monday, he's going to spend more.
Right. So you can spend more money? What are we waiting for? I was not clear on that. What are we waiting for?
There's nothing that he needs to wait for. He should just hand it over now. But honestly, this wedding shouldn't even happen. So
that part. So they're still fighting at bedtime. She really doesn't want to be in the same bed with him, even though, you know, how long has she waited? Over a year for him to finally move. She's there, he's there, and she's not having it. And I wasn't sure if I believed her, because remember when she was mad at him at the salon and she was just jokingly mad? So I was like, is she just jokingly mad again? Like, I'm not sure what's happening here.
well, this time she said she was upset because he basically accused her of lying about receiving money. And it was in front of her friends. So it made her embarrassed, her friend slash manager. So I did think she was really mad this time. But, you know, who knows how long that anger is going to last, because although we see a lot of red flags happening here with him, and she does too. She sees some things wrong in the relationship as well. She's still 20.
Yeah.
And her frontal lobe is not developed. And she's still a person who is trying very hard to get out of a poor situation that she was in childhood. And I don't mean poor just in money, but as in security and safety.
100%.
And the brain, unfortunately, when scared of not having security and safety, reaches for the familiar. And Luke is familiar.
100%. I agree with you. 100%. Do you want to add anything else before I move on?
That's it. Let's go.
Johnny and Chloe, Chloe 23, and I say that because I really feel she's showing her age in this episode. So they're out for dinner. She wants to be a less jealous partner. And I mean, that's with her 23-year-old self. Johnny's 32, if you guys haven't forgotten. And she feels like his job makes it challenging for her to be less jealous. And in all caps, I wrote, but you met him at his job. You
Correct.
knew exactly what he was. You knew exactly what he did. And you pursued him anyways. And I cannot stand a person, male or female or other, who you know exactly what this person does. You met them doing what they do, and now you want them to change who they are as an individual. Stop it. Just stop it. So because you don't like it, because you're not in that situation anymore, they have to change their entire life. That is manipulative. And to me, I'm sorry, but that breeds into like DV behavior. And it does. And I'll tell you why, Abby. A guy meets this girl. She's a dancer. You met her as a dancer. You loved her as a dancer. She dresses sexy. You love all those things about her. Then you fall for her. You get serious about her. You want her to quit her job immediately. And guess what? She quits the job to make you happy. But guess what? She still dresses and puts makeup on, all the things. When you go out, you don't want her to put makeup on. You don't want her to go out with her friends. You want her to just be around you all the time. You're checking her phone. You don't want her to go out, so she stays at home all the time. You don't want her to wear makeup. You see where I'm going with this? That is manipulation. Yeah, and it escalates when, hey, you met her exactly as who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you now trying to change her into something else? Because that's more about you and has nothing to do with her. And I want you guys to hear me. Adjusting and accommodating is one thing, but changing who you are as an individual for your partner is never okay. Is never okay, because it means to me that they never accepted you and wanted you as the person you were. They wanted to control you, and they want you to make them happy. And to make them happy, you have to be exactly who they need you to be, but not who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That will never work.
It's the same phenomena. The first person I heard talk about it was Trevor Noah, but it's probably existed before he talked about it. These people are just rare bird collectors. They want to find something rare and unique and beautiful and put it in a cage for just their enjoyment. Nobody else gets to enjoy it or see it anymore. They just want to collect this rare bird. And some occasions, just have it at home. And some occasions, they want to break it. So that's what Chloe is doing right now. She's trying to be a rare bird collector. This man had that job when you met him. He continued to have that job throughout the time that you were dating. He has made absolutely no efforts to no longer have that job. And so her attempt to essentially bully him out of doing it, making negative comments about his age as compared to what his job is, that's unreasonable. And then I also wanted to say, with regard to his age and his job, he's in a position where that job pays all of his bills. And so if there's nothing else that he needs to be striving for financially and he's happy in that job, there's actually nothing wrong with him doing it.
100%. So her calling it a strip club located on the ocean, I just thought it was disrespectful. And her jealous attitude is just, and trust issues. Like I said, you guys, if someone cheats on you and you forgive them and take them back, you have to fully forgive them. What you can't do, and what Chloe's doing and showing her immaturity, is she still doesn't trust him, so she's trying to throw it back in his face, and she's putting some ageism in it. She's like downgrading what he does. This job pays his bills. It makes him happy. You met him at this job, and this is exactly what he was doing. Johnny's Pirates, and his name is Johnny. Stop. Just stop with the nonsense. His whole vehicle has his job is his personality. It's how he identifies himself, and he's not leaving unless, like he says, they open a business together. Has to be on the water. The thing that actually irritated me a little bit on Johnny's side, Abby, is that he wants the 23-year-old Chloe, who has no experience doing anything because she's only ever worked for her mom, and that was nepotism. He wants her to help him create a business. And then when he started, he's like, well, what's the business? Oh, well, I just want to be in the water.
Right. There was no actual business. And all that I heard in that moment is, I want you to finance this pipe dream I have to start a business that has no clear objective.
Right. But then he goes on, Abby, to say, we'll put a business plan together and get investors, and literally
a business doing what? Yeah.
It says what? What's the business? How
right.
do you don't even know what the business is? What business plan? You think Chloe, the 23-year-old, is going to put a business plan together? She's not ever been in business for herself.
Yeah, it sounds like it's still going to be some kind of tourism, just not pirate ship tourism.
I mean, I guess she could reach out to her mom. Her mom is a business owner, and her mom will be there next week and do all that. But you got to have a sense of what it is you're trying to do and what all of it. So she wants him to leave his job, and she wants him to do it immediately, within a year. And my question is he ready to leave his job?
He's clearly not.
He's not. What do you guys think in the live chat? Is Johnny ready to leave his job?
And he's not ready to leave his job.
If you're watching the replay, let us know what you think. Is Johnny ready to leave his job? He wants him to leave it. He's like, listen, it's good tips. It's an easy job. It pays my bills. He's happy. To me, the answer is obviously no. He doesn't want to leave his job, but she doesn't want him to work there because her jealousy and the women that show up at the job. But again, Chloe, you met him that way. You met him
and you moved there with him that way. Look what Becca said. He's like Ken saying, my job is beach.
That's funny.
Yeah, and I'm actually okay with him not being ready to leave that job, because it doesn't sound like he gave her any reason to believe that he was leaving that job anytime soon. So I don't think he led her to believe that something different would happen when she got there. So nobody lied to Chloe.
Blanca said he's not ready. he doesn't have to be ready because that was not part of anything that we heard, like Abby just said. He didn't say, oh yeah, once you get here, I'm leaving my job and we're gonna make business. Like Becca said, a beach job. Never said that. Never said that, you guys. He just never did. That's it. That's all. We will be back on Friday, you guys. Abby, we're doing 2 episodes, so we're going to do episodes 6 and 7 to start to catch up again. Thank you guys for your flexibility. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, Becca says if his job pays the bills and he's happy, why make him change? Exactly. Unless you're insecure and jealous. That's a you problem, Chloe.
That's a you problem. That means you don't move down there. That means you just keep on having your fling, if that's what you want to do.
100%. Like and
But
subscribe.
she's young. So. Yes.
Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Salut. Bon nuit. And no. Oh, it's not ending. And